Hello and welcome to NewsX A-List. Today I'm joined with Harpreet Pasricha. She is a nutritionist. A very warm welcome to NewsX.
Thank you. Thank you, Richa.
Harpreet, I guess 2020 has been a year which has actually taught all of us that to eat healthy, to actually take care of what you intake in your body is very important. And something which I think we've heard all throughout 2020 is build an immunity, have a good immune system.
Yes.
Being a nutritionist, can you actually tell us and enlighten us with some things that can help us boost our immunity system?
See, immunity is something which is like a first line of defense, and that's something which we always should have taken care. But most of the times, people do ignore immunity when it comes to their weight or when it comes to other things. And now they're doing all the possible things what they have to do for the immunity. So when it comes to healthy milk or when it comes to having all the decoctions, people are all doing it right. But my question here is that you're doing something to strengthen your immunity, right? But what about things what are weakening your immunity?
Okay.
So whether it's processed food, whether it is alcohol, or whether it's sitting is new smoking. So not being active, not exercising, not sleeping in time and following a sleep cycle because people are awake like for long hours in the night and being on all the possible Netflix and digital media. So all these are actually, first of all, weakening. So what's the point of just strengthening when we are also, there's a hole in the bucket where your immunity is also falling, and somewhere it's kind of getting affected. So first thing is stop things which are going to weaken your immunity. So whether it's alcohol, excessive use of alcohol, or smoking, or not being active, or eating processed food, even crash diets because they cause lots and lots of nutritional deficiencies. So don't do all these things. That will first of all not weaken your immunity. Now let's come to how things can be done to strengthen your immunity. Yes, by eating right, balanced food, exercising. Breathing exercise is very, very important because you're doing extra oxygen, your lungs are expanding. So these things help in further building your immunity.
Something that we've heard during the pandemic is, it's natural when people start falling sick. There are a lot of home remedies that people come up with. We've heard about herbs, herbal tea. People are saying, let's have herbal tea.
Yes.
All this, sometimes can fight the virus, a different kind of lifestyle can. Do you really think all this is effective and do you support it? What is your take on it?
See, being in India, I think we are very lucky because we have all these herbs and spices. And being an Indian, the mode of cooking what we use, where we're using, whether it's jeera, curry patta, or tulsi, haldi, all the possible spices and herbs we are using in our diet. And that's probably one of the reason I think we Indians have fought this pandemic, this corona, much better than the entire globe. So here, I would say yes, Indian spices, herbs, very good, decoctions good, but how much is my question? Because people are overdoing it. I have every second patient of mine who's having either gastritis or having inflammation, sometimes even internal bleeding because they are also on blood thinners. So all this has actually caused them a lot of side effects too. So it has to be coming from your nutritionist, your medical practitioner, your Ayurvedic doctor, knowing whether you are a diabetic, hypertensive, or you have liver issues, or you have acidity or inflammation of the gut. They can recommend right kind of spices and herbs to be used as decoction. See, using spices and herbs in food, perfect. That's a very good idea. Whether it's dhania chutney or amla or whatever you have. But having them as a decoction because then it becomes a functional food. Say, let's for example take methi seeds. So if you're eating methi seeds in your dish, like in a chutney or something, is good because it's also combining with a lot of other things. But if I start taking methi water to get my sugar levels down, or if I start having cinnamon water, okay, I may turn hypoglycemic. Okay, because I'm overdoing it now. This food has started acting as a functional food in my body to do a certain, it's going and showing certain effect. So it has to be done right. Anything doing it in a wrong way or an excessive way is obviously going to have lots of side effects.
Happy, that's a great piece of information which I think our viewers should put notice to, that kindly do not become nutritionists and doctors sitting at home and take advice over WhatsApp. Kindly consult people who actually know it. Something else that I would want to ask you is about superfoods. What
Yeah.
actually are superfoods and why are they called superfoods? And are they actually healthy?
Yeah, actually, superfoods is something which have been again catching a lot of attention.
Yes.
And people think if it's going to leave a big hole in the pocket and it's expensive, that's the food is called a superfood. But I would say something which is locally available, seasonally available, okay, and something which is a powerhouse of nutrients. Okay, is something called superfood. Say, for example, in Delhi, if you see right now, there's a season of this black carrots. If you've seen this black carrots, and people make a kanji out of it, which is a probiotic and excellent for gut. Now, for me, that's a superfood. Okay. Similarly, if you have heard of quinoa, it's again catching a lot of attention from people, all people who are vegan and all on diets. Now, instead of quinoa, what we grow in India is rajgira. Okay, so it's something like a cousin of quinoa, but it's locally grown. So that is something superfood for me. Similarly, in Goa, we have something called as jackfruit seeds, which help in balancing your hormones, and which is there for a very limited period of time. So for me, that's superfood. So superfood is not something which is like which you don't get easily, or you get only in the West and you have to get them, invest like thousands of rupees into it and have it. Superfood is something which is locally available, seasonally available. A lot of our traditional foods are superfoods, and they are excellent for our entire body, for our skin, for hair, for immunity.
Another thing that you do, which is great, is that you work with young girls, and you take care of their nutrition and see that they have an overall growth. Can you share a bit more about that? Tell us like how somebody, if they have a young daughter or someone, how should they take care, and what are the things they should put focus to, especially when it's a young girl?
Yeah, see, young girls is something which, they are all into nowadays, getting into zero figure and fitting into a dress right and looking good and putting their images on the DP and everything possible. And in that bargain, they have started skipping meals or doing something like crash, which affects their entire hormones. And further, those things affect their women's cycle, like whether it's pregnancy, post-pregnancy, or menopausal. So they're not understanding what they're investing into their system. So for young girls, whether it's calcium, whether it's iron, whether it's magnesium, they have to take care of all the nutrients. So that's how I work very closely with the young girls and try to tell them, see, you can eat right. Okay, you can eat whatever you like, but it has to be in a right combination, right proportion. You have to eat seasonal foods. What's there? If your mama is giving you something like a local food, like a rajgiri, like a nachnika, kheer, which is called as ragi sattu. So you should have, yes, don't load it with sugar, because anyways you're going and eating a chocolate outside which is similar calorie. Okay, so eat something which is good in calcium, which is good in iron, which is good in vitamin D. Don't be deficient in nutrients, because you are going to suffer.
Another thing, Harpreet, is about athletes. Do you closely work with athletes and sports people as well when it comes to nutrition?
See, being a nutritionist, I work. Yes, being a nutritionist, see, I've been in this field for 20 years. So we work with clinical, we work with pediatric.
So that's what I want to know. Like, so a diet for an athlete would be completely different regularly, or is it actually the same for all of us? How different is it?
Not at all. So that's what I was saying, that when we work with clinical patients, it's completely different. When we work with pediatric, it's completely different. When we work with weight management, where you're putting more muscle mass, is completely different. And when we work with sports children, which is something which I think in India is kind of little ignored, because people invest in right equipment, they invest in good coach, they invest in all the best possible things. But when it comes to nutrition, because nutrition is something, and young athlete is something is of my concern right now, because 8 to 15 years is what I consider a young athlete, and that's the time they're also having a growth spurt period. So they're putting on height and they're developing their organs. So now at that point, if they're a competitive players, okay, they're playing for India and they're playing a competitive game and not taking care of their nutrition, because nutrition is something which is going to help them with their performance, with their recovery, okay, with their entire, even mind, I would say. Because when you have to hit a shot, like my daughter is into squash, and she's in a number 2 for under 11 category. So they have to decide right when to hit the ball. Yes. Right? So the brain also functions with right nutrition, because hydration. So everything matters a lot. So for young athletes, very, very important to be on a right diet, because I can't tell my child that, okay, you're working out for 3 hours, so instead of 2 chapatis, eat 4. A child can't do that. But how to make the 2 chapatis wholesome? Because sports children have to eat scientifically. Okay, so whether it's a pre-workout, whether it's post-workout, whether it's for their recovery, whether they need a vasodilator because they have a competitive match next day, right? Because that helps in oxygenation of blood. So all that, yes, you have to eat scientifically. And for young athlete, I would request all the parents, please do not ignore nutrition. Okay, don't give them a bar of chocolate or a bottle of ready-made electrolytes before pre-workout or post-workout. You have to invest in right, because that's what is going to help them in their growth.
Before I let you go, I have a very important question, which I think a lot of people would always want to know. How is the right way to lose weight? A nutritious way of losing weight. Because losing weight there are so many diseases that we know cause,
Yeah.
can be a part of it. So what is the right way to lose weight?
People have started eliminating food groups, not eating protein or not having carbohydrate or not having fruits or not having nuts. Please do not do that. You need to have a balanced diet, and you have to make sure that you are increasing your metabolic rate. Don't reduce your food, because that's not going to be a solution. So if you're going to have just a salad or sprouts or soup and just vegetable juice and depriving yourself of all the local seasonal foods and what is required at the stage of life you're in, say you're a perimenopausal, you need certain nutrients. So do not do any kind of crash diets. You need to have nutritionally well balanced diet. Okay, yes, the right combinations are very important, which your nutritionist can figure out that what are the kind of combinations work best for your body. And again, fasting for longer hours for no reason and punishing yourself or depriving and just working with your willpower, because this weight is going to come back. The time you eat normal is going to come back. So eat everything well balanced and eat in right quantities, eat in right combinations. Include a protein in each meal. That's very important. That's something which we are ignoring. Just don't have only protein-based meals. So if you're having a breakfast, some amount of protein for lunch, some amount of protein for dinner. So it has to be a wholesome with 5 groups or 5 servings of vegetables and fruits in a day. Lot of water, about 12 to 15 glasses of water in a day. Yes, physical activity very important, but don't overdo it. Don't let your body get into an exhaustion phase, because then again you'll end up eating more. Sleeping right also helps in eating right. Okay, because when you're sleeping well, that's the time when your body is detoxifying the nutrients. So it's detoxifying your body. So I would say all these small things make lots of difference.
Thank you, Arpi. Thank you so much. It has been interesting talking to you, and there's some very great takeaways that we have over here from the nutritionist here, telling us to eat healthy and have a balanced lifestyle that keeps you more fit than you can ever think. Thank you so much for speaking to NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.